What are chakras? Not to be confused with chakras, as it most commonly gets said. So you might have heard about chakras if you've ever taken a yoga or meditation class, or had an energy healing session like Reiki, where you were able to learn about the role they play in this flow of energy throughout our bodies. Or maybe you've seen the colorful posters with the outline of a person, and then they have those rainbow circles that go down the body. I had always heard people say that they were either open or closed or blocked or spinning. And being someone who is on a continuous journey for knowledge and expansion, I had to find out more. So what exactly are chakras, and why would they matter to our physical and emotional well-being? The word chakra is a Sanskrit word which means disc or wheel, and it refers to these energy centers in our bodies. This is why we see them represented as circles on those chakra charts. These wheels or discs are spinning energy, and each one contains bundles of nerves and correspond to major organs in the body. They also store the energy of our thoughts, feelings, memories, experiences, and actions. In order for them to function at their best, our chakras need to stay open or aligned or balanced. If they become out of balance, then we may experience some kind of physical or emotional symptoms related to that particular chakra. You can imagine this as water going through a pipe. If everything is free-flowing, then that water is free-flowing. But if you have a clogged drain, it will cause a backup. And we all know that backup water is stagnant, smelly, stinky, gross. Nothing good comes from a backup. What are these 7 main chakras, and what can we do to keep them open and our energy flowing? Well, the first one is going to be our root chakra. It's actually located at the very base of our spine, and the color that represents it is red. This root chakra represents our presence, our feelings of stability and security. So our very foundation for life is in this root chakra. When this chakra is balanced, it can help us feel grounded and able to withstand challenges. So I like to imagine it's like a tree. And when you have this very strong tree trunk and the wind is blowing, the branches may be moving, but that trunk, that root is solid and it's not going anywhere. The negative emotion that can block this chakra is fear. So when we feel fearful that we're not going to get our most basic survival needs met, things like money, our home, shelter, food, our ability to provide for all the things that are necessary for us to stay alive. If we feel fear about any of that kind of stuff, then it can create that blockage or imbalance in the root chakra. So what we want to do is work on releasing fear about our finances or our basic needs and well-being. We also want to release any kind of restlessness or anger. On the flip side of that, we want to open up to really feeling supported in life, knowing that our basic life needs are going to be met, feeling that sense of connection and safety in this physical world, and feeling grounded. Again, I use that analogy of the tree. Anytime I'm feeling kind of out of balance in my root chakra, I will imagine that I am the tree. I am rooted in my connection to the earth. I am safe. All my needs are met. The second one is the sacral chakra. It's located just below your belly button, and the color is orange. So this one represents all of our creative energy, our sexual or sensual energy, and our reproduction system. For women, is very much giving birth, and this could be to babies, but it could also be ideas and creativity. And it's also associated with trusting the source of our feelings, and connected to how we relate to our own emotions and the emotions of others. So lots of good emotional birthing in this chakra. The negative emotions that can block the sacral chakra are things like guilt and fear. So if we're feeling any kind of guilt or fear, it can negatively affect our relationships and our ability to express our emotions or to have fun and be creative. And it can also have a negative effect on how we experience our own pleasure or sexuality. So when it comes to releasing these negative energies in order to rebalance this chakra, it's releasing these ideas of negative self-worth and even more specifically, our self-worth around our own pleasure, our own sexuality, and our own creativity. So again, we want to be open to create. So we want to be open to our inner confidence with our generosity. We want to be open to our ability to take risks and be creative and put things out there. We are, when this chakra is open, we're more committed in our relationships because we have that confidence, again, in that passion center, and it makes us more outgoing and able to create. Next, we have the solar plexus chakra. This is located in the stomach area. It's associated with the color yellow, and it represents our own inner power and self-esteem. It's all tied to our own confidence and our competence. And we build our confidence as we prove our competence, as well as helping us feel in control in our life. It is our very power center, that inner fire within us that burns within our very core. The negative emotions that can block this solar plexus chakra are things like shame and self-rejection, and it can even include some anger and worry. We might feel powerless in life, just going through the motions and having this low self-esteem. Maybe our inner critic is chirping in our ear and showing up with all this fearful thoughts of rejection and criticism. So again, it's that powerless feeling in this power center. So what we would want to work on then is releasing that lack of self-confidence, those feelings of unworthiness, of doubting ourselves, and of feeling weak, and open ourselves up to self-confidence, to our own inner motivation and determination, in our own courage. We want to open ourselves up to self-respect and self-compassion so that we can feel in control, assertive, and confident, and lead from that power within us. Moving on up, we've got the heart chakra, located, you guessed it, in your heart, in the center of your chest, and the color that it's associated with is green. So this chakra represents all of our love and compassion and our ability to open ourselves up to deeper connections with ourselves and with others. The negative emotions that would block the heart chakra are grief and sadness. When we're out of balance, we might find ourselves being over-loving to the point of suffocating another person, or we might be feeling jealousy, abandonment, anger, or bitterness, and really fearing loneliness. So when it comes to rebalancing this chakra, we want to release feelings of loneliness. We want to release grudges that we have against people we love, any kind of jealousy or defensiveness, and open ourselves up to feeling surrounded by love, to feeling compassion and joy. When we feel connected to the world around us, to ourselves, forgiveness starts to flow freely without even trying, because we are in complete trust, knowing that we are loved. Moving on up, we've got the throat chakra located in the throat. The color it's represented by is blue. It's all about speaking our truth. So this chakra has to do with our ability to communicate verbally through our communication center. So when this chakra is unbalanced, it's often associated with the inability to speak up, to be able to have our say. We might tell lies and have poor communication. We might be gossipy or be completely silent and not even trusting our own expression. So when it comes to rebalancing this chakra, we want to focus on releasing feelings of depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem so that we can have a voice. We want to open ourselves up to having the free flowing of words, of expression, of communication. We want to open ourselves up to being able to speak fearlessly and with compassion, and then also open to listening and hearing others. We want to be honest and truthful, yet firm. So really being able to articulate our ideas, our feelings, and our opinions clearly so that we can feel heard and understood. Next, we have the third eye chakra located between our eyes. This color is indigo, and it represents our consciousness. Aww. Our third eye is responsible for our intuition and is linked to our imagination, which helps us to see, new realities for our lives by dreaming different possibilities. So you might have heard of people having a closed third eye or a foggy third eye. Really, we want to have this clarity, and I'm going like this, like I'm washing it off, so that we can see these opportunities and options before us. The negative emotion that blocks the third eye chakra is elusiveness, or feeling dissatisfied with life and trying to escape it. This can actually lead to addictions if we're trying to escape our current reality, because again, it's all tied to how we see things. So when we want to balance this chakra, we want to release things like self-doubt, worry, overthinking, closed-mindedness, or feeling lost and relying on others for validation and permission. So instead of looking outside of ourselves, we want to be able to open ourselves up to looking from within, and open to having this clear vision for possibilities of life, for spiritual contemplation and our own self-reflection. When we can trust our intuition and see what is truth versus what is just illusion in this life, then we can really open ourselves up to receiving wisdom and insights. All right, that brings us to the crown chakra, the top of our head, just like a crown. The color that it is represented by is white, and it represents grace and our spiritual connection to ourselves, or to our higher self, our own inner wisdom and the universe. So the negative emotions that would block this chakra are things like boredom, greed, or closed-mindedness. So literally closing that gateway. And we can be out of balance when we're having really rigid thoughts, especially on things like religion or spirituality. We might find ourselves feeling constantly confused, having judgments or prejudices over other people, and being too much in our heads, so that analysis paralysis. So in order to rebalance this chakra, we want to release that closed-mindedness, that indecisiveness, those feelings of loneliness, and really open ourselves up to selflessness, inspiration, gratitude. When this chakra is balanced, we're able to live in the present moment. We go from closed-minded up to open-minded, and we are in complete trust of our own inner guidance. So just real quickly, when it comes to rebalancing a chakra, there are so many modalities that can help with this. Things like yoga, guided meditations, different foods, energy healings like Reiki, crystals, sound healing. There are so many. I invite you to find the one that really resonates with you. Give it a shot. And if you're not sure where to start, or you just want to know more about your chakras and how they may affect you, then I would invite you to consider working with a professional energy healer, such as somebody who does Reiki or a certified yoga instructor. Which brings me to my next video. What is Reiki? If you're interested in learning more, go ahead and check it out. This has been your Ray of Sunshine, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.